Yeah, sometimes assessing healthcare inside a prison, and in particular the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, can be a real challenge. My hardest time receiving healthcare was when I really, really, really needed it. I was being transported, and on this transport they fed us old lunches with stale bread, carrots, and just to let you guys know and make you aware, when they transfer you, you don't get a regular meal. You just get handed a sack lunch for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you're expected to eat that, so you're starving. So I arrived to my institution. It was nighttime. I ate the sack lunch they gave me, and then I turned ill. My stomach started hurting. I had this really, really extreme stomach pain to where I was having trouble breathing. I fell on the floor of my cell and I was gasping for air. And my cellie, he panicked and he went to the cell door and he said, "Man down, man down." I was like, "Man, stop it." I was like, "Don't do it." I was like, just call him and ask him to come over here, because we were in Lancaster in California State Prison, Los Angeles County, and they were known to just leave people in their cell during man downs and people who asked for emergency care, because the COs never wanted to do extra work or go out of their way to try to help somebody when they could just come and do their paperwork and leave for the day. So if somebody was sick, they just ignored them, assuming they would get better or the next shift would have to deal with them. But for my case, my cellie went to the door and did it anyway, and I knew this pissed off the COs and made them angry, and sometimes they even beat inmates for reporting that they were sick. That's another topic. But for my situation, they never came. So my cellie yelled "man down" about 20 times, and then no one ever came to the door. He finally got back on the bed. He's like, "Man, are you sure you're okay?" He's like, "This ain't right." I'm like, "I know this ain't right, but there's nothing we can do." It was about 2 hours later I was able to take myself to the door, and one of the COs walked past, and I was able to say, "Hey man, you think I could see a nurse please, because I'm really, really sick." So luckily I didn't pass out, and I was able to even get to the door to ask him. He said, "Yeah, we'll call over to medical, we'll see what they can do, but it's late, there's nothing we can do for you." So another hour or two passed, and the nurse came to my cell with some Tylenol. He slid it through the door, and he said, "You have to take this, and we'll see if you can see a doctor tomorrow." There was nothing I can do. I took the Tylenol just because it was the only placebo I had. We didn't have any property. We just got there on a transfer. We were thrown in the ad seg because of lack of bed space on the prison yard. So that's my that was like my worst medical experience in prison. I'm glad I got to share it finally, because I've never been able to express that one. It was sad. It was one of the most saddest times I got sick in prison and didn't receive health care. But it wasn't the first or the last time that would happen, sadly, and it continues to happen to many of my peers that are still in there. Um, Man, if I was still inside during COVID, I'd be having a rough time, because I really relied upon visits from family and outside volunteers to keep my sanity. I went in at the age of 15 years old, and that was my life, my whole world. And to lose what made me okay in there would have devastated me. I don't know what it would have led to, a lot of depression, anxiety. Hopefully it wouldn't have led to a suicide attempt, but that's what I fear the most if I was still in there during COVID. And then just the fact that, like, for people that are still in there, it's not their fault that they get COVID. The correctional officers bring it in. So that's another thing I'd be worried about, is I'd be feeling like a victim. So just that victim feeling of, I feel like a victim every time they punish us in there for when they don't give us enough food, when they deny us medical coverage, is punishment. So to take our program because of COVID, something that's going on in society, and then you're going to be the one to bring it into us, that's what I'd be worried about for the guys still in there, is that shame that they're going to feel if they get it, and if any of them die from it, because it's not their fault. They're being victimized. So, yeah, and then the system is designed to destroy us. So basically, how can you expect a system that's structured to keep you disadvantaged and disenfranchised? How could you expect that system to help you when it's designed to harm you? Factual. That's it. Point blank. Final thing. How can you expect a system that's designed to harm you to help you? You can't. You can't. So what do? If you really want change, you transfer the jurisdiction of that department to the Department of Health in California. Let the Department of Health in California oversee your prison system if it's designed to heal you and not harm you. Because the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation is designed first and foremost to harm you, and you can see that by design of its institutions and their way to design. Thank you. I'm Sean Khalifa. I'm glad I could share this with you and a point of view on prisons and COVID.